Hi there, welcome to another educational video documenting my Web3 expedition. In this video, we'll be talking about an interesting platform on Hyper EVM. It's called PRJX or Project X, the most prominent DEX on Hyperliquid, and it presents the most lucrative yield opportunities on Hyperliquid. Basically, if you have Hype, the native token of Hyperliquid, you can bring it over to Hyper EVM to take advantage of high yield opportunities such as the ones I'm participating in, like this one by no, this one, Hype USDTO. So this is Hype against the native stable USDT basically on Hyper EVM for 242% APY, or you can go into this pool for 274% APY. But the scope for this video is different. I'm going to talk about a new pool that was instituted that is of particular interest to me, which also involves Hype. But this time, the liquid staked version of Hype powered by a platform called Kinetiq. Now, why do I like this one? Because the APY is also high, 236%, but you will start earning points associated with Kinetiq. And I just checked Kinetiq recently. Basically, Project X introduced me to Kinetiq. So I decided to look at Kinetiq and what is it. You'll see it's the primary liquid staking platform for Hype across Hyper EVM and already has 1.8 billion in TVL. This is huge. But more interestingly, I noticed that it has K points, meaning that you may be earning points. Now, interestingly, I've earned all these points, putting me at a rank of 8,313 and in the gold league, courtesy of my position on Project X. Now, that's interesting. So, why not just put up your Hype on Project X, but instead of Hype directly, convert it into a liquid staking variant of Hype called K Hype, powered by Kinetiq, and then start earning K points. That is my new line of action. So thinking of it, although I wouldn't do it in this video, I'm going to actually switch my hype position because I do have a hype position into this particular vault here, you know, taking the route of K hype so that I can increase my points and tier on the Kinetiq platform. So how do you get started with doing all this? I will simplify the process for you in what will turn out a simple tutorial video. So first you want to get hype, which is also the gas token on Hyper EVM, onto the Hyper EVM chain. So if you're just getting started, you would use Jumper, assuming that you have assets on some other EVM chain. You can easily move those funds over to Hyper EVM while to receive Hype. So let's go about doing that. I have a small amount. Wow. Apologies. I don't know what's wrong there. Hmm. So interestingly, there's a struggle. It's not working. Just a moment. Okay. So now, Jumper is the bridge that you should be using for this. It works. It's a bridge aggregator, so you have many options in terms of routing. Because sometimes when you use Relay, which is my most prominent bridge, you would have a struggle with bridging over to Hyper EVM. So Jumper is the best. It also has an airdrop prospect, considering it has a point system. Okay, so in my case, I have some USDC on the base chain. I'll be moving it to receive some hype on the Hyper EVM chain. Now, if you're a first timer, um, okay, so I want to receive hype. If you're a first timer, it's best that you check the option to send It's just that I have some gas, some hype already on my wallet, so there is no need for gas. But typically, if you don't have gas at all and it's your first time, there will be an option to toggle here so that, or it will be toggled by default. Leave it like that, so that within this transaction, a bit of hype is already deposited in your wallet. Because there needs to be a signage from your hype wallet and it will need gas. So keep it on so that hype is automatically transmitted in this transaction so that the bridging transaction completes. Otherwise, you can make use of, that would be the best option based on my experience. There's also a refueler option here to get gas over to the hype chain. I don't want to dwell on that too much. I'll give you an avenue to reach me if you want to. But you get the gist. Assuming I don't have hype already in my wallet, Jumper will identify that, and then it will show the option here to fund your Hype wallet with some Hype. It will be toggled on by default. You can leave it on. So I'm going to transmit this over to receive Hype on Hyper EVM. I'm going to choose this option. Assuming that you try this, you chose this, for example, gas sweep zip, and it doesn't work, you have the option of choosing symbiosis, for example. But this is bound to work. So let's quickly bridge over. So this is basically how you would transmit, uh, bridge over assets from some other chain to the Hyper EVM chain. In particular, we are bridging over Hype because Hype is the gas token on Hyper EVM. Then we will do the necessary swaps uh, on Project X. So we've already moved some hype over to Hyper EVM. Now, when we attempt to swap here, our balance will show up. So you'll see I now have a balance here. Uh, so assuming I wanted to deposit into this pool highlighted earlier, which is USDT against K hype for a 234% APY while earning points on Project X and also points on Kinetiq, you just simply need to swap some of your hype for USD for K hype and of course USDTO. So we go back to swap, okay, and uh, I'm not going to swap. I will swap just a small amount for tutorial purposes. I already have a position, so basically you are going to swap uh, some some of your hype for, let's say we go for 0 to no 0.5. Okay, so we are swapping some hype for K hype. We will get almost the same amount just because of there is no, let's just say the same amount, okay? So if we swap, okay, I don't know why it's failing. Slippage is good enough. Okay, let's assume that there is no direct liquidity between hype and K hype based on the listings of LPs we saw earlier. So we will first of all swap. Okay, we have some USDT. So otherwise I would have swapped some hype for USDT. But considering we now have USDT, I'm going to swap between USDT and K hype. This time I'm going 50%. Hmm. So what is going on here is what was going on earlier. It's not able to pull up my wallet information. So I'm just going to go, I don't know what's like, there is a caching issue there. So it's struggling to read my MetaMask information. That's the issue. By the way, we will talk about Project X points. You definitely want a 10x multiplier. I mean, sorry, 10% multiplier on your points earning on Project X. You can use my code Web3Wikis. We'll talk about that later on. But now let's experiment swapping hype for um, K hype. I believe it's possible. Okay. Okay, considering that I already have USDT, we will just then we have what is required to deposit into this vault as we speak. So USDT against K hype deposit. Okay, so let's say we go max, no, max at the bottom here. So you see almost equal measure. The pool distribution is 54% K hype against 45% USDT. So confirm deposit. In this transaction, we are approving the expenditure of USDT. Okay, now in this transaction, we are given authority to spend key hype, I believe, the specific amount intended. Then in the subsequent transaction to this, that will be the actual deposit into the pool. So what we are doing here is we are powering liquidity such that when people are buying, they have liquidity to buy against. We are playing like the role of market makers. And then we are being rewarded in fees for doing so. So that has been completed. Our balance, for example, is no longer available to us because it's now in the pool. Now, if we go to our portfolio, you will find our position shown here. US, this one. No, no. It has just added up with this. It has just added up with this one. And you see a lot of APR, a lot. If you were to claim your resulting dividend, you'll be claiming it here. Now you can use my invite here. It's Web3 Wikis. This is someone's invite that I'm using. It will give you a 10% boost. My ranking on the basis of points earned on Project X currently is 1,400. I mean, 1,461. I have 1,487 points. Okay. Now, another thing based on the documentation that will earn you points, although to a smaller margin, is swapping. Okay, so you can also, all these swap events that were carried out will earn you points, but the most points is for liquidity provisioning. Speaking of liquidity provisioning, there are a lot of options here, but you know the reason why I'm going for the key hype option. I'll be doing the same for other options when I find out that they have the prospect of an airdrop. A lot of prospects here. Imagine being able to pair pump of Solana of pump fund on Solana against type for an 87% APY while also earning points on Project X. Very solid. Bringing us to the end of this video. Now, your link to Kinetiq and Project X will be in the description. Check them out. To conclude with this video, ensure to visit airdropc.com and submit your email to subscribe to airdrop reminders. I'm working on 100 solid airdrop prospects. Each will have its own publication tutorial coming soon as to subscribers. Now, I say prospects because airdrops are not promised. So while Project X and Kinetiq have a point system, I mean, I'll put them here as an airdrop prospect and send them to you via email. So submit your email here. Contact me using this contact form, this Telegram, and this Twitter. Subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials. Stay awesome, take action.